Hello and welcome to Beamer. My name is Kim Simsby and it's my privilege to be your host and presenter today. My Beamer story is kind of interesting. We almost came to this through the back door or by accident, if you will. My son Trevor is a professional golfer, and a little over a year ago he had injured his wrist in a tournament to the point that he had to withdraw. A good friend of mine who is a renowned longevity research expert had been using this technology for a while, and I was talking to him, told him about my son's injury, and he said, well, why don't I just come Beamer him? Now at the time, I have to admit I had no idea what that meant, but Michael came up 3 days in a row, put Trevor on the Beamer, and now I'm not allowed to give you a third-party testimonial. But suffice it to say that what we saw after only 3 days was nothing short of miraculous, to the point that my wife and we kind of looked at each other and we're like, this is incredible. And I started looking into this, got very, very fascinated by this technology, to the point that I actually went to Europe where the company is located and saw the manufacturing, met the owners, was very, very impressed with everything that I saw. And the rest, as they say, is history. And as you're around Beamer, you're going to hear tons of stories of people that have had incredible health benefits from this very, very unique patented technology. Before we get started, I do need to read to you the U.S. disclaimer, and it says, none of the statements in Beamer marketing and educational materials or website have been evaluated by the FDA. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Furthermore, none of the statements should be construed as dispensing medical advice, making claims regarding the cure of diseases, nor can these products prevent or cure any disease state. You should consult a licensed healthcare professional before starting any health protocol or any health device such as Beamer, especially if you're pregnant or have any pre-existing injuries or medical conditions. Beamer products are in no way a substitute for medical care. Statements made have not been evaluated by the FDA. However, Beamer products are FDA-registered Class 1 medical devices, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that means. But since we're going to be talking about health and wellness, then maybe a good place to start is, how do you feel? Do you know anybody who feels stressed, has any sort of discomfort, restless, unfocused, have low energy, exhausted, what have you? Well, I think most people are dealing with at least one or two of these, right? And I don't think that this comes as a surprise to you, but we are right smack in the middle of a health crisis, not just in the United States, but probably most of the Western world. But here in our country, obesity is at an all-time high. As a matter of fact, 2/3 of all Americans today are considered overweight. 1/3, that is over 100 million people, ladies and gentlemen, are considered clinically obese. Diabetes had reached almost epidemic proportions. We're spending billions and billions on pain relief, correct? Americans spend more on medicines than do all the people of Japan, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, and Argentina combined. Now, do you know that if you were to add the population of all of these countries, you'd end up with over 900 million people? We have a little over 300 million, and we're outspending them. CNBC, they say that within the next 10 years, we're going to be spending $5.6 trillion on healthcare. Do we have a problem? Of course we do. So what is the solution? Well, what if you could enhance general blood flow, nutrition and oxygen supply at a cellular level, cardiac function, sleep management, waste disposal, physical fitness, endurance, concentration, mental acuity, stress reduction, and relaxation? And what if you could do all of this in a completely non-invasive and all-natural manner? That is exactly what I'm going to talk to you about in the next little while here. This is truly a revolutionary product, a product that uses completely disruptive technology. What does that mean? I'll explain that in just a second. And here's one of the things that's exciting to me. This is not on trial, ladies and gentlemen. We already have well over 1 million satisfied users overseas that's been having incredible results with this product. As a matter of fact, The Beamer is installed in 4,000 hospitals, clinics, and universities worldwide. We have over 1,000 top-level brand-name athletes calling this their secret weapon. I'm going to be talking to you about 5 worldwide patents. Those of you that insist on, you must see the published medical papers. I'll point you in the direction as to where you can find that. We're going to be discussing the FDA registration or clearance, if you will. And last but not least, our collaboration with NASA, probably the ultimate validation. You see, NASA had been doing research on what's called PEMF technology, which stands for Pulse Electromagnetic Field Technology. They've been doing studies on that for years. And once they learned about Beamer, which is truly in a class by itself, our patented product, our patented signal, they reached out to us, not the other way around. And the reason why NASA is so excited about the possibilities here is when an astronaut comes back to Earth from a trip into space, they got a number of different challenges. One of the biggest ones is problems with circulation. So this collaboration agreement basically evolves around the possibility of taking the Beamer technology and build it into the spacesuits of the astronauts. And, you know, we're obviously all as excited as anybody to find out exactly where this might go in the not-so-distant future. We're going to be talking about a totally new paradigm in health and wellness, using a revolutionary disruptive technology. What in the world does that mean? Well, let me give you an example. Remember when the first cell phones, they came out? Was that disruptive to the whole telecommunications industry, that all of a sudden you could actually take the phone with you? Of course it was. It completely turned that industry upside down, right? Then not too long ago, we got the smartphone. So now what they took, what had already disrupted an existing industry, and they now turned your phone into a combination of a computer, television, and telephone. Did that, again, disrupt an industry? Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you what I'm about to share with you has the very real potential to disrupt the health and wellness industry exactly as the cell phone and the smartphone disrupted the telecommunications industry. Thomas Edison, he said, the doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. What Thomas Edison was talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is a brand new era called bioenergy medicine. Now, you've obviously heard of pharmaceuticals. You've probably heard of nutraceuticals. You may even have heard of cosmeceuticals. We are the global market leader in a brand new industry called electroceuticals. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. This is not some rinky-dink voodoo thing, by the way. This is big business. GSK and Google recently invested almost $750 million to research, develop, and commercialize the next generation treatments involving the use of electrical signals to cure disease. It's a new approach to health and wellness, but we've already proven it works. As I said, here in the United States, this device holds what's called an FDA Category 1 clearance or registration, which means the FDA considers it safe to use, but we cannot make specific medical claims. In Europe, where the company's been operating for 20 years, this device holds a Category 2 clearance, which means doctors in that part of the world can actually prescribe Beamer sessions for specific conditions. The Category 2 is currently underway here in the United States, and we should be getting that very, very shortly. We hold 5 worldwide broad patents, so nobody can come even close to copying this or coming up with something that is remotely similar to what we have, and you'll see that as we start looking at some of the comparisons. And as I stated earlier, this device is in fact currently being used by more than 4,000 medical clinics, hospitals, and universities around the world. For those of you that insist on you must see the scientific evidence in writing, you can go to pubmed.gov. In the search bar up here, you simply type in Beamer therapy, and you should have enough information. You can lock yourself in a dark room for a couple of days. This is probably the most powerful slide that I'm going to show you in this whole overview. You see, the sad thing for some people is the first sign of disease is what? It's that of sudden death, isn't it? Well, why is that? because we don't know what lies beneath the surface. Do you in fact know whether or not you have sufficient or a low supply of oxygen at a cellular level, nutrients, metabolic waste management? What about your cardiac function? Is that proper? Is it low? What about your blood flow? We don't know that. And that's why sometimes, you hear the guys in his early 50s, he looks healthy as an ox, and all of a sudden just drops dead, right? Because we don't know. If you get nothing else out of this overview, here's what I want you to understand. This is where the patented BEMER signal lives, ladies and gentlemen, beneath the surface at a cellular level. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, so I'm going to do my best to give you about a 2-minute amateur science class here, okay? You see, approximately 100 trillion cells in each of our bodies are nourished and cleansed via capillaries. These are also referred to as microvessels, and this is where nutrients and oxygen, they're delivered, and it's also where toxins are eliminated. When you look at our circulatory system, we call it the river of life because it truly is. You've all heard of arteries. Only 11.5% of the system consists of the arteries, 14.5% the veins. Did you know that 74% of our circulatory system are these tiny little capillaries or microvessels? They are way, way, way smaller than a human hair. And here's the challenge. We know for a fact that these microvessels have no receptors towards human drugs. In other words, no drug can help you at that level. What we also know from scientific research is the BEMER signal has a positive impact on the capillaries and the microvessels. So basically, here's how it works. You have your oxygenated red blood cells. They come in from the arteries. They bring oxygen and nutrients to your cells. And then before it moves on to the veins, it removes carbon dioxide and metabolic waste from your cells. But again, rather than me going on and on with the amateur class here, let me show you what it is I'm talking about. By the way, what you're about to see was shot with a $22 million camera. So the first example we're looking at is poor blood flow. You can see over here, it's almost like there's an accident on the freeway, right? There's blockage. As we age, blood flow slows down. Now, what if there was a way to truly open the floodgates in a completely non-invasive, natural way? Do you think that would be beneficial? Again, let's take a look at a quick comparison. This is poor blood flow with limited circulation. This is good, significantly improved circulation when the floodgates have been opened. Dr. Rainer Klopp of the Institute of Microcirculation in Berlin, Germany, is the foremost expert on this whole area. As a matter of fact, the book you see on the picture, he wrote that book, and it is a mandatory part of the curriculum, even in the United States, for individuals that study this type of medicine. And he says BEMER is the most effective and widely researched physical therapy method available today. To me, this is probably one of the most exciting things about the BEMER. Here it is. You can see it almost looks like a yoga mat that you lay down on. It's attached to what we call the brain or the B box, and you just press the button and the magic happens. Now, have you ever tried a new health regimen? You know, maybe you wanted to lose some weight or you wanted to get in shape, and you change your eating habits, you start a new exercise regimen or whatever, right? Most of us have tried that, not once or twice, but probably several times throughout our lives. Why is that so difficult? Because it requires a change in behavior, doesn't it? One of the most exciting and powerful things about BEMER is there is no change in behavior. As a matter of fact, if you can lay down and relax 8 minutes twice a day, you can do this. You simply lay down, chill out, you absorb this patented signal. So why would we even consider doing that? Because here are the benefits of BEMER. It does, in fact, and all of this have been scientifically documented, it does, in fact, enhance general blood flow. nutrition and oxygen supply to your cells, improves cardiac function, sleep management, metabolic waste disposal, removing it from your cells, physical fitness, endurance, concentration, mental acuity, stress reduction, and relaxation with no side effects. Now, as you start doing your research, you're going to find that there are other signals available out there, as I said before, referred to as PEMF signals. And it's important to understand what you have your hands on. Now, don't get me wrong, they all do something good, but none of them can hold a candle to the power and the efficiency of the patented BEMER signal. First of all, you can see just the difference in terms of the frequencies here, right? But you have all of these other options out there. And as a matter of fact, not too long ago, there was an independent study done between BEMER and the top 5 PEMF devices in the world today. It was a 4-day study, and as you can see, just in terms of the power and efficiency alone, that it's not even in the same category, right? There's a 30% improvement with the BEMER signal, a maximum 10% with the top of the line of any of the PEMF devices, right? Here's where the comparison really gets interesting. On day 3, the signal was turned off on all the devices. And if you notice, every single one of the PEMF devices, there was no residual effect whatsoever. Kind of like you turn the signal off, it's game over. The BEMER signal has a residual effect that lasts 12 to 16 hours, which is why you only need to use it twice a day. And here's where the comparison truly becomes absurd. When the BEMER signal is turned off, it is still more efficient and more powerful than when the number 1 PEMF device is turned on. So can we please table that conversation? The reality, ladies and gentlemen, is there is nothing like the BEMER anywhere in the world today. Let's run through the product itself real quick. As I said, it comes with the B-Box, which is the brain. This has the touch screen. It has different intensities and programs. It even has the patented sleep mode, so you can sleep on it at night. It has light therapy for external use, and you can run 2 applications at the same time. That is another patent. There is no other product in the world that allows you to do that. This is the B body, as we call it, the one that looks as a yoga mat that you lay on 8 minutes twice a day. Here's the B spot. That was actually the one we used on my son. That's more of a concentrated area, if you will. We got the B pad that you can hang over your shoulder, around your abdomen, over your knees, wherever you might have a challenge. The B sit, great for wheelchairs, long distance driving, overseas flights, where you can help that circulation, if you will. And the light therapy, as I mentioned before, for external use, for any kind of skin issues. And last but not least, the patented sleep program. The person that invited you to listen to this brief overview, they can give you a lot more information and details on this. I'm just here to try to give you the highlights and the power of what this product and this signal is really all about. Now, if you look at how much are you spending on health costs today? If you add up all the money you're spending on health and wellness products, nutritional products, doctor's visits, massages, gym memberships, your deductibles for your health insurance, your co-pays, when you do get sick and you're missing work, how much does that cost you? We're talking tens of thousands of dollars, are we not? That's the same challenge for all of us. So what if there was a way to boost your health in a completely non-invasive and natural manner? What would you pay for that? You know, it's interesting because when I show this presentation to doctors, anybody in the medical profession, when we get to this point, their question is always, so how much is this going to cost me? $20,000, $25,000, $30,000? Because that's what they're used to paying for medical equipment, right? Even medical equipment that can't hold a candle to what the BEMER is. And when I tell them, believe it or not, it's less than $6,000, some of them, they won't even believe me. Now, I know for some of you that are listening to this, typically you will fall into one of 3 categories. either there's a sigh of relief and you're going like, is that all it is? I want one today. Some of you are going like, this is not interesting to me at all. And that's fine. Thanks for your attention. And then there are some of you that say, hey, listen, I really would like a Beamer, but I don't have $6,000. And I can appreciate that. So the good news is we actually do have financing available, not through the company, but the person that invited you here, they can provide you with information as to how you can get your Beamer financed. And for a very small monthly payment, you can have the benefits for you and your family. And you know, we human beings, we're kind of interesting characters, aren't we? You and I, we will not think twice about buying the latest, greatest surround sound, flat screen television system and pay $6,000 or more, or a couple of new jet skis, taking the family on vacation to the islands. Why? Because we deserve it, right? We work hard, we play hard. Why shouldn't we be allowed? But when it comes to our health, I don't know if I can afford that. Well, can you afford not to? Let's break it down for you. See, the good news, as I said, this company has been in existence for 20 years. So we know the history of the products. They're lasting an average of about 15 to 17 years. But let's be conservative. Let's say it lasts 10 years, your Beamer. That means that it costs you $599 a year or $1.64 a day. You can have the benefits of the patented Beamer signal for less than a cup of coffee a day. If you need financing, talk to the person that invited you to listen here, and they can kind of fill in the blanks and give you the details on that. Athletes, they absolutely love Beamer. And as I said, we have 1,000 top-level brand name athletes calling this their secret weapon. Now, granted, a lot of these are in Europe, where the company has been working for quite a while. But already here in the U.S., we got NFL teams, we got hockey teams, we got basketball teams, we got major golfers, we got the tennis players, people from all kinds of different sports, bicycling. The list goes on and on and on. As a matter of fact, the Arizona Diamondbacks, they were nice enough to write us almost a thank you note for the benefits that they're having in using the Beamer. No, it's not just people. Animals, they absolutely love the Beamer. So if you have small dogs and cats, don't be surprised if when you lay down, you turn the signal on, they come and jump on top of you, even if they normally don't do so. Why? Because intuitively, they know the power of this signal. And here's what's exciting. With animals, there's no placebo effect, right? It either works or it doesn't. Our newest product, the Beamer Vet for horses, is unlike any product launch I have ever seen in my entire business career. We've had this for less than a year right now, and it has absolutely taken this industry by storm. It is lightweight, it's easy to wash, it's easy to use, it is low cost compared to any other device like this in this particular industry. And again, if you'd like specific information on this product, please get with the person who invited you, and they can give you all the details on this as well. The product does come with a 3-year warranty, lifetime system updates. We have a user and technical hotline. If you've got any questions or concerns, they'll be more than happy to help you with that. So, in wrapping this up, as you may or may not realize, behind a product, a technology as powerful as this, is a financial opportunity just as exciting. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on this. I just want to give you a very, very brief overview, and then the person who invited you here, if you're interested in this aspect and you want the total breakdown, then they can direct you to another online presentation, a very short overview, where you can get a lot more details. Our company is located in Liechtenstein, which is a beautiful part of the world, nestled in between the Swiss and the Austrian Alps. When I first walked into this 40,000 square foot facility, one of the things that struck me was I had actually anticipated to see people sitting around conveyor belts assembling Beamers. Not so. Do you realize that every single Beamer has been handcrafted? We call it German engineering and Swiss craftsmanship. And we can probably all agree from a quality standpoint, it doesn't get much stronger than that, right? As I mentioned, our company is 20 years old, completely debt-free, operating in over 40 countries. We have less than 0.08% return rate. That means it's virtually non-existent. Massive endorsements. I talked to you just about a few of them. It's a privately owned company, and we are in charge of our own manufacturing, as I mentioned. The good news is when you get ready to purchase your Beamer, you don't have to wait to get it shipped from Liechtenstein. It will actually be shipped to you from our beautiful U.S. headquarters right in Carlsbad, California. The vision of our company is very similar to that of Apple Computers, to have a Beamer in every home. Why not? I mean, when Apple, they stated this, we all thought they were crazy, right? How many do you have in your house now? Certainly it's more than one, isn't it? Everybody with a circulatory system can benefit from Beamer. So why not? How do we accomplish that? It's very simple. We don't hard sell this product at all. You get the Beamer, you experience it, you feel the benefits of it, you can't stop talking about it. It is ingrained in all of us that we start sharing this with other people that we love and care for, or people you have any kind of a connection with. So who exactly do we share it with? Well, we're primarily tapping into 4 major multi-billion-dollar markets. The first is obvious. It's all of us baby boomers, right? I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody who's over 50 years old who does not have an ache here, a challenge there, a blood sugar issue, blood pressure issue, sleep disorder, whatever else it is that they're dealing with. All of us can benefit from the Beamer. We talked about athletes, but it's not just professional athletes. How about us weekend warriors, the one that edge back, right? What about college students that are looking for a contract when college is over? I talked to you about the Beamer Vet for animal lovers and veterinarians. This is a multi-billion-dollar niche market that we're tapping into. And last but not least, physicians. Who do you know that's a chiropractor, a medical doctor, a naturopath, maybe a massage therapist, whatever, right? They can certainly benefit not so much from selling Beamers, if you will, but we got doctors that are earning thousands of dollars as a secondary profit center by offering Beamer sessions in their clinics to their patients. One of the most powerful statistics I've ever seen in my 3 decades in the direct marketing industry. These are official Beamer numbers. Every well-supported customer will refer an average of 3 to 5 new people to you. Now, notice I said customer, not distributors. Our distributors, they have a financial incentive to do that because they're paid to do it. Customers are not paid anything. So why would they refer 3 to 5 people to you? Because, again, the product is that powerful. When they start feeling better than they have in years and years, they start talking about it, and they refer you to other people. So why would you even consider sharing this with other people? Well, number one, maybe you just want to get your Beamer paid for. You know, if you refer only 6 people who at some point purchase a Beamer, yours is paid for. Maybe some of you are looking for a part-time financial opportunity. If you were to sell 2 to 4 Beamers per month, you're looking at $36,000 to $72,000 in annual income. And last but not least, some of you may decide that you want to build a small team of affiliates. And this is just examples. These are not promises of income. But if you were to put together a team of 5 affiliates and you teach them to sell 2 Beamers a month and you do the same thing, you're looking at a 6-figure annual income. Very, very powerful. In order for you to register as a distributor, it's $290, which includes a 2-day training academy. As I've mentioned before, the person that invited you here, they can provide you with a list of where these academies, they take place. We're in 3 to 4 major U.S. cities every single weekend. So at some point, we're going to be in reasonable vicinity to where you live, and you can certainly attend one of these very, very powerful training academies. So let's summarize what we've talked about. I've introduced you to what we call a category of one product. What does that mean? Well, you may have heard of a category creator product, and that is, as the sentence says, a product that launches a whole new category, right? Like a cell phone, for instance. A category of one product is exactly what it says. It is a category where there is only one product. And that is the situation we have with Beamer, which is amazing from a business standpoint. Imagine you wanted to buy a luxury car, and you only have one option, and that is a BMW. There are no other luxury cars in existence. Now, you can buy a Chevy if you want a less expensive car, but if you want a luxury automobile, you must buy a BMW. That's the situation we have with Beamer. I've introduced you to massive credibility. It is a solid, established company. It is a new, emerging industry. 99% of the market, they don't even know that this exists. It is a global opportunity. We have untapped market potential, and we do, in fact, have an award-winning compensation plan. If you want more of the detailed breakdown of how the financial side of our business works, please get back to the person who invited you. Get your questions answered. And should you decide to join us on our team, I'll be the first to welcome you. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.